Yo dudes, what's up? This is PlanetKeef, I'm Keef, and now we're on to week 7 of my What on Earth Happened Last Week. So Monday was pretty special because I've had to rejig my schedule because we're now back in the yoga studio in person, which is great. But I used to do the yoga on Wednesdays. Now I've had to change to Monday because of the numbers. I take another person in, so I count as 2 people. So we couldn't fit on Wednesday. So I've moved to Monday, which means that I used to shoot my cooking videos on Monday, so now I shoot those on Tuesday, and on Monday I do the weekly review and fit that around 2 hours of yoga. It's not actually easy, but anyway, we can make it work because we have to. So Tuesday last week was shooting a cooking video, which was minestrone soup, which Mrs. Keef cooks, Mrs. Planet, same person actually, I don't know if you noticed that. She's always been under the impression that she doesn't like minestrone because she doesn't like soups that are just like a clear broth with stuff floating in it. And actually a proper minestrone isn't that. It's a thick broth and it's not clear. It's, it's tomato and lots of vegetables and beans and a bit of pasta, and it's wonderful, and she did like it, so that was good. Now Wednesday I've been reading about a global chip shortage, and it hasn't worried me too much because we've got potatoes and I make my own chips. But seriously, everything from toasters to motor cars has been affected by the shortage. Because of the pandemic, people have been working from home, and so maybe they've wanted a better camera, a better computer, a better phone, whatever, all of which obviously have chips in. At the same time, the chip manufacturers, their output is down because they can't operate the way they used to because of COVID precautions. And then on top of that, you've got that damn container ship, the Ever Given, that blocked the Suez Canal for a fortnight recently. And all of that just goes to show how completely reliant we are on global trade and systems and supply chains and technology in general. You know, who would have thought that to make a bit of toast you needed a sophisticated little bit of silicon or gallium arsenide, whatever it is, that is produced in a factory thousands of miles away and shipped across the oceans, to measure the degree of brownness of your toast. Unreal, isn't it? So last week I told you about my printer woes and how I was expecting a replacement Epson printer to arrive like yesterday, Wednesday. Of course it didn't come. And looking now at Amazon's website, where previously they were saying a date range, they're now saying out of stock, and we've got no idea when it will be in stock, and that could well be a chip shortage problem. Anyway, they're not saying, but I decided that I'd cancel the order and get a refund and then look at my options, because there are actual physical shops that stock these things, and that's what I did, and I'm waiting for the refund to show up. Apparently it takes 5 to 7 days. So now I've gone on and on and on about my Bluetooth speaker. So this is slightly enhanced from the last time you saw it because I printed a new fascia panel that goes over the gap between the fascia space and the wooden surround. So that's it, and that's as far as I'm going with that model. There's no volume control. It looks like, because it's got an integrated Bluetooth chip on board, I have to get between the connection of that to the amplifier circuitry and put the volume control wiring in there, and I can't do microscopic soldering, so I can't do it. So what I'll do next is buy an amplifier board with built-in volume control, and remarkably cheap. They're about £5, so not the end of the world. Anyway, having got a Bluetooth speaker, I realise I don't actually have much digitised music. I've got mountains of CDs, but I really don't like using streaming services, mainly because of the paltry amounts they pay the artist, which is basically not enough to live on, certainly not enough to grow a career on. Once you're at the top of the heap, maybe you can live on their royalties, but by that time you've died of starvation. So Spotify and the like, I don't like them. Call me old-fashioned.
You're old-fashioned.
You're old-fashioned.
You're old-fashioned.
Old-fashioned. So I decided what I needed to do anyway, just for security backup sort of thing, was to rip my old CDs, and so I've been doing a bit of that. And that's it. I had to think long and hard. What is the process called for, copying the content from a CD to a digital file? It's called ripping. How old-fashioned is that? So the highlight of the week was our son coming for a short weekend, just a one-night stay. And we met at the Kirkstall Bridge Inn car park. Now, Kirkstall Bridge Inn is one of my absolute favourite pubs. It's right down by the river, and it's famous for this incident a few years ago when there was major flooding on the River Aire. And their car park has been transformed. It's now got a marquee and a teepee in it. You had to book. I don't know if you still do now that restrictions, people can go inside as well now, so maybe the pressure's off. But we managed to get a table in the teepee, and we had a moderately okay lunch. It's not their standard fare, which is extremely good. It's just burgers and pizzas. Also very good, but not going to set the world on fire. However, it's food. In the evening, there was a choice of things to watch on the telly. We could watch the Eurovision Song Contest final, or we could watch a film, and I got downvoted. So we watched episode 1 of The Hobbit, Peter Jackson's epic adventure. I don't know how you can turn a 200-page book into 3 movies that last for 8 hours. Anyway, I've seen them all now, so I do know. What you do is you make everything happen quite slowly, and you have lots and lots and lots of battle scenes. My God, I am battle weary. I don't want to see another sword for a very long time. So I forgot about Eurovision that evening, but the next morning, the devastating news that the UK had come last. This is not unusual. We frequently do very, very badly. But what was unusual was we didn't get a single point. Not one. Nada. Nul point. I mean, what an achievement. Amazing, Britain. Well done. And I've just read that the comedian Bill Bailey has offered his services, and he could win it. He has talent, he has charisma. I'd like to see that. Our baby's train back to London was at 3 p.m. So, like an idiot, I decided to drive in, and we'd have a pint somewhere, and then he'd get his train, and then I'd come home. I guess I thought because it was Sunday it would be quiet, but even if it is quiet, I just don't understand the road system in Leeds, and I don't think anybody does. And they keep changing it. They're upgrading it, yes. So every time you go, it's different. My constant worry is getting caught in a bus lane when I shouldn't be and getting fined, or, stuff like that. Going the wrong way down a one-way street. All of those great things. Anyway, I managed to find a parking space in a car park. We managed to figure out how the payment thing worked. That was not easy either. And then we went and had a decent pint, and went to the station and saw our baby off. So that was nice. And then in the evening, we watched the third part of that Hobbit thing. Yeah. So that was my week. It was interesting. Thank you for watching, and, well, I guess, see you next week. Ta-ra!